What up, Ace?
What up, you guys?
Thank you. How you doing, Ace? How you doing today, man?
What up, man?
Just give you a little update. I purchased that car I told you about.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I bought it.
Uh-huh.
23,000 miles, 6,000. I paid 6,000 for it. I'm getting it inspected tomorrow so that I can put on a hire car and on Turo. So it should be listed by Friday, and we should be all good to go, man. I got blessed. I can't even lie.
My
I've been
man
looking at cars I've been looking at cars every single day, and every time I go to look at a car, it gets sold before I can get there. So just everything just lined up. The universe aligned everything for me, and I got this car 6K with 23,000 miles, man.
It's funny you say that because when we were going, and you probably seen it on Chris's YouTube channel. If you check out his YouTube channel, we were out there looking for cars, and we found 5 cars. We went to another car dealership. We went back to that first one that had 5, and they were all gone because they were all cars under 12 grand. So we're looking for cars that are like 2015 to 2019 with under 50,000 miles and under 12 grand is what we were looking for. And we have found 5 of them. And we went to another dealership, came back to the first one, and they were all gone. Literally every car that was like under 12, pretty much every car under 15 grand has been going pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I got so lucky though. The title was clean, no, like literally the inside was clean. It was an old guy. He had a car for his daughter, but his daughter moved to Venezuela. So I was like, look, I'll give you. He wanted 65. I was like, look, I'll give you 55, and I kept bartering, and we landed on 6K. It's just 2013, so it's a little bit older, but it's got 23,000 miles on it. It's literally been sitting in his driveway. All I had to do was flush the fluids, and it's a brand spanking new.
Man, so, you came up, man.
I appreciate you guys, man.
It's gonna work out good for you too, man. You came up nice.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I can run it for at least 130,000 or 110,000 miles, and then when it hits the 130, they said as long as it's in good condition, it's grandfathered in. So in reality, this car can run for the next 3-4 years. I'll make my money back in probably 6 to 8 months, to be honest, because I had to get a new tag and stuff. So that was like an extra 500.
Right.
In 6 to 8 months, I should make my money back, and then everything is straight profit from there. And it's such in good condition, it should run for at least the next 3 years, which is perfect, man.
At least. That's dope. All right, so for you guys that are just tuning in, this is Chris. He's been tuning in to pretty much all our real estate classes. He taps in with everything that me and Chris talks about. He follows us on social media. He checks out our YouTube channels, and he's seen that we were talking about a rental car business, right? So, we're going to talk about real estate later today, but I just kind of want to tell you guys the story of what he was talking about. So we were looking to, go get a car and rent it out either on hire car, Turo. There's all these different things where people need cars, especially on hire car. People that don't have cars or maybe having car issues, or maybe they just don't want to drive their car. What they'll do is they'll go on hire car and they'll look to rent a car so they can do Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, all these different delivery services, Instacart, whatever. You just kind of rent the cars out to them. And this is actually the prime time to do it. Chris is getting in at a good time because if any of you guys have traveled around, try to get rental cars, rental car prices are going up. There's a shortage in rental cars. Like, it's just getting crazy right now because what a lot of businesses had to do, they had to sell their rental cars to keep their businesses afloat when it was like the middle of the pandemic. So they're just still trying to catch up on inventory. So Chris was talking in last time how he was going to find a car, and he was kind of on the fence on if he should get it, and he finally got it, and he's putting everything to work. So he's doing all these things that we constantly are telling you guys. You gotta put action behind this stuff. You can't just sit in on these classes. You can't just follow us on our social media. You can't just watch us on our YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, we're putting this stuff out not to entertain you guys, but to give you guys outlets for different things and different ways to make money, so you guys can level up and have that freedom to do whatever it is that you guys want to do. So anyways, let's tap in today. Like I said, we're going to be going over real estate. Let me share my screen with you guys. 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so last week what we did was we talked about the first time home buyer program in Texas. So for those of you that are just tuning in and don't know, I'm asking everybody, send me your state and send me your state in a message in the Well Squad, send me a DM in the Well Squad, send me what state you live in or where you want to know about the first time home buyer program. Because all I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing these. I'm going to do a couple more of these. I want to get at least 10 to 15 of these so I can, get at least everybody in here so you guys can see these different programs. So today we're going to be covering Florida because that's the most messages I got. But don't just leave, because I want you guys to see, because you guys will, if you guys were in last week's class for Texas, now you guys are going to see that there's a huge difference from Florida and Texas in their first time home buyer program. So when we ran through it for Texas, they only had two programs. They had one program that was for the first responders, whether if you were a firefighter, police officer, military, things like that. And then there was another program that just helped with your down payment assistance. So Florida is a lot different. They have way more programs. And the reason why I want you guys to stay in these classes, even if you don't live in Florida, because there could be a good chance that you might move to Florida one day, or after you hear some of this information, it might make you want to start your real estate career in Florida. You might know somebody in Florida. You just never know. So it's good to have the information. So even though it might not be your state, a lot of this stuff, because there are going to be some similarities that you guys are going to see if you were in last week's class, for this week. So you guys are going to see. Let me mute that. All right. So you guys are going to see what the similarities are and what the differences are. And if you didn't catch last week's class, it should be, I think it got uploaded already. If not, it's going to be uploaded soon. And like I said, just kind of hang tight with me for this one, because at the end, I'm going to open up the floor for you guys to ask any questions. If you guys are currently in the middle of deals, if you guys are looking to get a deal, if you guys just have, a question about this, maybe a question about something that we might have covered already. And, I don't know, you just didn't watch the class, or you just have a question. So I'm going to open the floor for that at the end when we get there. So just kind of bear with me for this, and we're about to dive into this first one. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about the first time homebuyer program for the state of Florida. And like I said, if you're not from Florida, still just kind of hang tight just so you guys can see, because you guys will see, like I said, the similarities and things like that. A lot of these states, first time homebuyer programs, there's going to be a lot of things that are very similar. Some states will just have maybe a little bit more requirements. They might have less requirements. The funding is different, how much they'll give you, how big of what type of property you can get, all these different things. So let's kind of run down. So as of 2021, here's the Florida housing first time home buyer programs that they currently have. So you guys see they have way more than what Texas had. Texas just had the two programs currently right now. And, with Florida, we got 7 different programs that they offer in the state of Florida. So let's just kind of run through them real quick. The first one is Florida First Mortgage for a government-backed loan and help with the down payment and closing costs. That's one of the options. They have the Florida HFA Preferred or Advantage for a conventional loan with down payment and closing cost assistance. They have the Florida HFA Preferred or Advantage Plus, which is for a conventional loan that combines a low down payment with a closing cost grant. And remember, those grants, you don't have to pay them back. They have the Salute Our Soldiers military loan program for veterans and active duty military, providing low interest loans with down payment and closing cost assistance. They have the Florida Assist Second Mortgage for 0% interest and deferred payments on a down payment loan of up to $7,500. So that's going to be good for like your down payment costs, things like that. That's what they're going to help with. They have the Florida HLP Second Mortgage for assistance with down payments and closing costs. And they have the Florida Mortgage Credit Certificate Program for a federal tax credit on paid mortgage interest. So you see they offer a lot of different things. I want you guys to maybe either screenshot this, take a picture of this. We're going to be covering most of this stuff. The only thing that I think that we're not covering is we're not getting into the Salute Our Soldiers, but everything else we're pretty much going to cover on this list for the most part. There might be one other thing that I might have left out, but like I said, so that one that's for you guys that are veterans and active duty, things like that. If you want to look deeper into that program, I'm going to have a link for you guys, and you guys will still be able to access all the information for that. So, All right, so the homebuyer program offer 30-year fixed rate mortgage loans to first-time homebuyers through participating lenders and lending institutions throughout the state of Florida. So before I keep reading, this is what I really love about Florida and what they did with this program. They're really doing a lot to help first-time homebuyers, and the IRS considers you a first-time homebuyer after 3 years of living in a home. You're considered a first-time homebuyer again. I didn't look deep enough into that to see what the reasoning is behind that, but hey, we figure these things out, we learn these things, and we use it to our advantage, right? That's the name of the game. Figure out as much stuff as you can and use it to your advantage. So you guys will be able to constantly use these different programs. But anyways, like I was saying, Florida they have it so good, and I was spending a lot of time going through their system and seeing how easy it was to navigate. It is so easy to navigate for people. And I really hope if we have people from Florida in here, or if you guys have family members in Florida, please take as many notes as you can for them, because Florida is really making it a game changer. And I honestly don't know. I couldn't find the numbers of how many people take advantage of these programs, but man, I wish if I could turn back the hands in time, I would definitely utilize these programs to get myself started in real estate, because these type of programs, you can literally get into real estate with literally no money down, because Florida has all these grants to help cover your down payment costs. The only thing you might have to come out of pocket for is maybe an inspection. So you might have to come out of pocket like $200-300. But imagine getting into a home, a $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 home for only $500, and you will never have to pay back, the down payment, any closing costs. Like that's huge, because that's the main thing that scares and keeps so many people from getting into real estate, is because a lot of people just don't have 10, 15, 20, 30,000 laying around, right? I know how hard it was. I remember those days. I know how hard it was, how hard it can be. I haven't forgot, right? I still have that mindset and that mind frame, like I'm broke, right? Every day, if you wake up knowing you're broke, it's gonna light a fire under your ass. It's gonna make you want to get to it. So, but yeah, so let's keep reading on. You guys know me, I get sidetracked easily. So, eligible borrowers may also participate in one of Florida's housing second mortgage programs to assist borrowers with down payment assistance and closing costs. Amazing. Wow, this is crazy. So down payment assistance is only available when used in conjunction with Florida Housing's first mortgage loan, which we'll get into. Florida Housing offers FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional loans, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Properties eligible to purchase are single family homes, townhomes, 2 to 4 unit homes, which is great, because remember in Texas, it was just the single family homes that we had seen. And then condos that are approved, modular and mobile homes. So we have a lot of people in the Well Squad that are interested in mobile homes. So if you're in Florida and you want to look to get into the mobile home game, this is a good outlet for you to get into it without having to put any little money down. Typical maximum seller paid closing costs are not impacted by the using this program. In addition, there is no additional time needed to be able to close on these loans. So unlike a lot of other programs, the Florida Housing never runs out of funds, so your transaction will not be subject to a waiting list. Because these states that these states that people do take advantage of these programs, and I know Washington State is really high up there, where a lot of people take advantage of that stuff. There's waiting lists for it. So I know some people that are in Washington State that are on the waiting list for their first time homebuyer program. They've been on the waiting list for a while. So it's just based on where you're at. It's going to be different. Some states like Florida, they have, plenty, right? They tell you right here, they got so many funds that you don't have to be on a waiting list. So that just, to me, that means one, they're pouring a lot of money into these programs, and two, not a lot of people are really taking advantage of them. So we need to take advantage of this stuff to where there is a waiting list, right? So we need our members, if you're in Florida, know somebody in Florida, please put them on game, right? That's the name of the game. Get knowledge so you can spread it to, your family members, your friends, all that good stuff. All right, so there are some minimum requirements, and this is something you guys will want to write down, screenshot, so you can know. But once I give you the link, you guys will see all that as well, so you don't have to remember it. If you don't want to write it down, you'll be able to get to this information again off of the links that I'm gonna give you guys. So there's a minimum credit score of 640. Approved home buyer education is required to be completed, which is not, it's not that hard. It's just a class. You know, it's going to tell you, it's going to talk about your area. It's going to talk about, you know, the responsibilities of owning a home, what costs come from a home. Pretty much all the stuff that I talk about is what's going to happen in those educational class. So they are required for you to go through. They must be completed, but they're going to be easy. It's not going to be hard stuff. And if you guys have tuned into any of my classes, I've already gave you guys so much game that you guys will be able to just fly through those classes that they have. Your purchase price must be below the limits for the county you are purchasing in. That's very important because you can't just be like, okay, I want to go get me a $300,000 house. It's going to be based on the area. And like I said, that link that I'm going to put for you guys is going to have all that great information for you. Your income must be below the limits for the county you are purchasing in. Also, you'll be able to find that on the link I'm gonna put on there, so you guys will be able to see, because it would have, you know, for me to put it all together, there's so many counties, and you know, within the state of Florida, it would have been crazy to put them all on here with the limits and stuff. So I'll just let you know, I'll do the bulk of the work for you guys, and then, you know, I'm gonna hand off the baton for the last 100, and you guys can go ahead and finish it off. Where we at? Oh yeah, and you must meet the IRS definition of a first-time home buyer. So I don't know what the exact definition is, but I think it's 3 years and that 1 day, then you're considered a first-time home buyer again, or after that 3 years. So yeah, 3 years, 1 day. All right, so the first one that we're gonna talk about is the Florida Assist. This is the FL Assist. So borrowers purchasing in the county selected may also be eligible to receive down payment assistance through the Florida Assist Second Mortgage Program. The Florida Assist offers the following. So up to $7,500, 0% interest rate, and deferred second mortgage, and no monthly payments are required. That's great. So the Florida Assist is not forgivable. So repayment is deferred except in the event of the sale, transfer, satisfaction of the first mortgage, refinancing of the property, or until such a time the mortgage ceases to occupy a mortgageor ceases to occupy the property, at which time the Florida Assist would be payable in full. All right, so there's 3%, 4%, and 5% HFA preferred and HFA Advantage plus second mortgage, 2-in-1 that we were talking about earlier. So this one, the borrowers utilizing these down payment and closing cost programs receive either 3%, 4%, or 5% of the total loan amount in forgivable second mortgage. This second mortgage is forgiven at 20% a year over its 5-year term, 0% interest rate, and no payments required. So the cool thing about this one is they're going to give you the down payment and closing costs you're going to get is pretty much going to be based on that amount. So if it's about 3%, they're going to cover that. If it comes out to 4%, 5%, which is great. So for the most part, usually they say, use that 5 to 6% rule of thumb, but sometimes that's not always the case of what you'll need just based on these different programs. So that's pretty cool. The Florida Home Ownership, the loan program, the second mortgage borrowers purchasing in the county selected may also be eligible to receive down payment assistance through the FLHLP second mortgage program. The FLHLP offers the following. So this one offers up to $10,000, 3% fully amortized. I'm just killing these words, killing me today. Second mortgage and 15-year term. So the FLHLP second mortgage carries a monthly payment of $69.06. The remaining unpaid principal balance is deferred except in the event of the sale, transfer of deed, satisfaction of the first mortgage, refinancing of the property, or until such a time ceases to occupy the property as his or her primary resident, at which time the FLHLP second mortgage unpaid balance will become payable in full. So that was a mouthful right there, but a key something to highlight on this one is that monthly payment of $69.06. And after getting up to 10,000, and then that 3%. So yeah, that one's pretty nice. So since the FLHLP second mortgage carries a monthly payment, this payment may need to be considered in a borrower's debt to income ratio when credit underwriting. So that's not going to be anything that you're going to have to worry about. So this link right here. So this is the link I want you guys. So if any of you are curious, and you guys, even if you're not living in Florida, just check it out, because you never know what you'll see on here. And this link is pretty cool because it literally takes you to everything. It helps you find those approved lenders. It helps you find those approved real estate agents. It walks you through so you can It's like what are those things called where you tailor it to you. So you click on a link. There's going to be a drop down. It's going to be, what are you looking to do? Then it's going to tell you, okay, if you do that, if you choose this program, these are the things that you can qualify for. These are the requirements. These are the approved lenders. These are the approved real estate agents. And then it's pretty cool because once you figure out like the lenders and the agents that are with these programs, when you start reaching out to them, they already know all the ins and outs. They know, what they can, what they can't do. So then they're going to be able to start walking you through and find that house that you exactly qualify for. So this kind of helps alleviate some of that stuff that I was saying, like how to do the research, how to find properties, how to do all that. You got the cool thing about going through this program is they know that, well, they don't necessarily know that, but they assume that a lot of people who are going to be first-time home buyers, it's going to be people who don't typically know too much about real estate, just looking to get into real estate. So they think that, people don't know how to do their due diligence and find properties and this and that. So whatever the reasoning behind it, this tool that they created is literally a one-stop shop, which is really dope. So copy this website, screenshot it, take a picture, whatever you need to do. And even if you're not in the state of Florida, go mess around with it so you guys can kind of see, because you never know what you're going to find. So the Florida Housing Finance Corporation Homebuyer Loan Program Wizard is an interactive tool that can assist you with obtaining down payment assistance requirements, income limits, purchase price limits, approved loan officers, and certified realtors who have attended and continued education, which is dope. So on that, yeah, you're going to enter the number of people who, like I said, it's gonna be a drop down with a lot of different questions. So you're going to enter the number of people that's going to be in the household, the county that you're looking to purchase under, the different, they're going to have the Explorer loan program, so you can see, you'll be able to compare all the different programs. So you're going to see which one is going to fit you, right? And then you just select one of them. It's going to keep taking you to the next tab and the next tab. It's literally a step-by-step, no brainer. Anybody can get in there and you guys will be able to figure it out. So after selecting one of the home buyer loan programs, the wizard will display the down payment assistance guidelines, which is great. So it's going to show you everything, all, what you will either have to come up with, what the county or the city is going to cover for you, all that, the income limits, what what your income has to be, your purchase price limits for that specific county, find, a list of lenders, the list of approved loan officers who are in that specific county, certified real estate agents who have taken, this first time home buyer, you have to work with specific agents that have taken these first time homebuyer courses. The same thing, like, for if you're in the military and you have VA, you want to work with a real estate agent who's a certified VA real estate agent, because they're going to know more than a typical. I've worked with agents who don't typically know too much about VA, and I've worked with agents who do know everything about, well, mostly everything about VA. It's like night and day. So you want to work with agents, you want to work with lenders who already know what they can and can't do with these programs. And so it's cool because, like I said, it's all at that link. It's going to literally hook you up and get you all the information and connect you with everyone you need to. So it takes out the you having to network. It takes out the you having to contact the lenders and get the best rates, because they're going to give you, they're typically all going to have the very similar rates. And these agents, they're all going to show you the houses that you can qualify for and things like that. So it's really, really, really good program. And yep. So, all right. So 5 steps to home ownership. So 1, find a Florida housing approved lender using the home buyer loan program wizard to get pre-approved. Before you start shopping, you will need to know what you can afford, and this is going to help you. So the approved lenders can tell you how much you can afford and walk you through the credit process of buying a home. Great. That takes out, just that right there takes out, a big bulk, right? The money, the funding of this is going to be the main part of this. So what's next? 2, take the home buyer education class from Alyssa provided approved lender. It's going to be easy for you guys, especially if you guys have been attending these classes. They're literally going to talk about all the stuff that I've been talking about in all the previous classes. They're just going to tell you guys about, what type of expenses to expect, If you know you happen to lose your job and you can't afford your payments, there's going to be options for you guys. So this is another cool thing about using these first-time home buyer programs, is it's supposed to be tailored to people who don't make much income, but don't let that shy you away, or don't let your pride get in the way because you might make under the income limits, right? It's a great tool for you to, you know, step up and get to that next round, you know, of your wealth journey without having to worry about stressing about coming out of pocket for so much money. You know, so many people feel like they're so above these programs. I was talking to a few people about some of these programs, and they're like, you know, they would never want to do it because they don't want to be looked at a certain, I don't know. Some people, you know, think what they think, whatever. If I would have known about this, I definitely would have, you know, when I would have qualified, I would have taken advantage of this, knowing what I know now, right? So you guys are hearing it, and you know, hopefully, you know, some of you guys are out there utilizing this stuff. Number 3 is going to be choose a certified realtor using the home buyer loan program wizard. Once again, that program that they created is literally a one-stop shop, which is dope. To help you with your home search and, you know, realtor of your choosing. When you meet with your realtor, tell them your price range and the kind of home you're looking for, and you're going to get that from step 1, right? Your lender is going to tell you, okay, this is what you qualify for, and then that's going to help you, and it's going to help your realtor when it comes to finding you the home that you want.
Am I
Uh,
going to be able to?
let's see that person. All right. So when you find the right home, they'll help you with your offer negotiations to purchase it. They will also guide you on recommended and required inspections. So, you know, they're going to have, you know, depending on what program you use, they might have certain requirements. Like some of them might require you to get an inspection. Some of them might not. I'm going to assume that most of them are going to require it because it's just going to help you out in the long run. We had someone come in, a young lady on here. She told us kind of like her horror story. You know, her and her husband got a property. You know, they were just so anxious to get into it, and they end up getting into a bad property. They end up getting to a lemon, right? There was a lot of issues that they end up finding out along the way because they were trying to save money and not get the inspection. But if they would have taken these classes, and if they would have heard from me, they would have known that you don't get a property without getting an inspection, period. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts to it. I don't care if it's a brand new property that was just built from the ground up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting that inspection. If I wasn't the one who was doing the build, if you're just going to buy it and someone else, you know, did all the work and you weren't there to watch and test and do all these things, I'm getting an inspection. Not even asking any questions to it. All right, number 4, finalize your mortgage application with your pre-selected lender. Provide the documents required by the lender as quickly as possible. They're going to send you, they're going to send you a list of things that they're going to need from you, just to get the ball rolling. So, don't be surprised. They might need some W-2s. They might need, your tax returns. They might need to see bank statements. They might need to see this, and they might ask questions about that. So don't feel like they're getting all into your business, because they are getting into your business because they're giving you all this money for a loan, right? So they need to make sure that you do qualify. So they're going to have to check, your payment, your pay stubs, they're going to check your W-2s and all that to make sure financially you qualify for these programs. And they just want to make sure that they're not getting you into something that's going to put you over water. So they're going to be looking at your debt to income ratio to see how much debts you have going out and things like this. So the goal of it is to make sure that they can get you into something that you're going to be able to afford the payments, and then it's also not going to put you underwater. So that put you underwater part, they're not necessarily too concerned, because they just want to make money. But with these type of programs, the lenders, they have to be more stringent with the things that they kind of let slide and things like that, because of the program, because it could fall back on the state. So they're going to be, like I said, they're going to be there to help you. They're not going to, try to pry and get all your info just for no reason. So there's reasoning behind that. So know it going into this. The approval of your loan is contingent on this information. The lender will order the appraisal and title search. You'll then shop for your homeowner's insurance, which is easy to do if you've taken our classes. I've talked about how to find your homeowner's insurance. Very simple, very easy. You will need to obtain information about scheduling utilities to be connected in your name. And last but not least, attend the loan closing with either your attorney or your real estate agent. I usually just attend them with my agents. I have yet to bring my attorney to any of my closings. This is the day you will sign your note and mortgage to take ownership, to take home ownership. You will then receive the keys to your new home. So it's literally as simple as that. Great program. I feel like Florida really went above and beyond with this. That's pretty dope. Big salute to the state of Florida for doing this, because I know a lot of people, I know this could help a lot of people. I just hope some of you guys in here are either from Florida or have family members in Florida, and you guys can spread the word, because if you guys seen, if you guys were listening and pay attention, that stuff is crazy. Like literally you could get into a house with almost no money down, and like a legitimate way to do it. A lot of people always talk about getting into real estate with little to no money down. It's very hard to do. And especially for someone who has no network and never done anything with real estate, I promise you, it's almost impossible. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying you can't get into real estate with no money down, but it's very, very hard for people with no real estate network and no real estate background. And this is your first time in this world, because the real estate world is very big. You have so many different things going on within real estate based on what you're trying to do. And you have all these different levels as well. So yeah, this is a great program. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Q&A. Here's my social media. I got some courses. If you guys want to go take a look at them, you can go check them out. You get a discount code, but it's not about that. So yeah, let's open it up. You guys have any questions? Like I said, it could be, about what I just talked about, or it could just be if you guys are in a deal, or if you just maybe missed a class and you got some questions, you guys start firing them off.
Hey, what's up, Ace?
Hey,
so quick question. So
Yep.
I'm in Florida, and I'm actually glad that you went over this, because some of this stuff I was actually doing some research on. So it looks like in my current county, I make over the income limit. So of course, I'm trying to cut my hours at work. I'm trying to finagle a way to get underneath the income limit. Do they look at the year previous, do they look at 2020's tax return to determine if you qualify now, or will they look at the year?
I think you're going to have to get with one of the lenders and ask them that specific question, because I don't want to give you one. I don't know if they're I don't know if they're going off of your 2020 returns or actually what you currently are making. So just ask them, don't tell them what you're trying to do. Just ask them, hey, how do you guys, ask them what are you guys looking at for the income requirements? Are you guys looking at my current monthly pay? Are you guys looking at what I made, on my taxes last year? Like, how are you guys doing that? And then adjust your situation to fit it, right? Do whatever you need to do to make sure you qualify, and then take advantage of it. And then once you're in and you take advantage, then you could turn it up a notch, and then you can go full throttle with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, and a follow-up question to that. So I was looking, like I said, specifically in my county, and maybe this is a question to ask them as well, but could I do this home first? Can I use these programs in other counties? Like, for example, I'm in Hillsborough County. Could I do it? Can I use it for Pinellas County, because for example, maybe another county's income limit's a little bit higher?
Yeah, you'll be able to do it whatever, because it's going to be your home, right? So that's going to be your county eventually, right? So whatever you got going on right now, they are going to want to know about. But once you find a home in a county, you just tell them, hey, I'm planning on moving to this county, so this is the county that I want to use. Then that's what they're going to go off of. So they're not going to go off of base where you're at right now. They're going to go based off of what county you want to move to.
Okay, perfect. No, that makes sense. And then one last question, in regards to the credit limit, because I've been telling you, I've been working on my credit. So my credit's not there yet, but we're almost there. Is the credit limit the same thing for all of these programs, 640?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, man.
No problem. Hey, Chris, what was the max amount, not on the income, but the max that they allowed you for your county that you're in right now? Do you know what it was?
Yeah, it was 68,000 for Hillsborough County. If I was on the right program, it was 68,000. So I'm above that, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, right?
Not the income, but the actual property that they'll allow you to get. Did they tell you what?
Okay. So what I was reading up, it said I think 239,000 was for the specific program that I was looking at.
What do the houses go for in that area that you're in? Are they about that? Can you find something decent for that price out there?
Heck yeah. So I actually had my girl do some research while I was working a couple of days ago, and she found some fourplexes and threeplexes for 150, for 200. So there's definitely properties available. They do need some work, of course, but they're out there. If you found a good deal, like I said, sometimes you got to do a little bit of research and take some time, but there are definitely some opportunities out here to take advantage of these programs for sure, as long as you fit the requirements, of course.
All right. Hey, Chris, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm gonna have you're gonna go live with Chris pretty soon, one of these days. And you're just
All right, bet.
everything that you've been telling me, I want you to just talk about. He's gonna do a live, and I'm gonna have him bring you on to one of his lives one of these days, because I really I like what you've been doing, man. You've been on it. You've been taking charge with this stuff, and you've been getting shit done, man. And that's the type of stuff that we want. That's why we do what we do, right? Because we want people that are gonna take charge and get after this stuff, because it's not gonna come to you. So definitely shoot me a message, man, and keep at it, bro, for real.
Yes, sir. No, Ace. Again, just before I let anybody else go, I just want to tell you guys, thank you. You guys motivate me so much. Again, you're not too much older than me, so like it just shows me that it's possible. But what I've learned from this entire experience, and I've started on my self-education and like you got to invest in yourself first before you can go out there and do it. And what I've realized is all the self-investments I've made, you got to put action to it. So anybody that's listening, that's afraid or that's scared, go and do it, because you will live. If 30 years from now you don't go try it and you don't make the mistake now, you'll live with that regret. And I'm trying not to live with that regret. I want to make sure I take whether it works or whether it doesn't work, I want to try, because at least one day I can say, you know what, on my deathbed, you tried everything you could to get that freedom. So I appreciate you. I'll definitely send you a message.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Quick question for you.
What's up?
All right, so my mother right now, she had a tenant in a home a few years ago. Basically, the tenant that she had is currently just like running the house down, right? So we don't know if the tenant is still there or not, but we're working on that. Basically, the home is still in her name. She still owns the land, the property, everything else. So she's making the move, getting everything ready in court that she needs to do to legally get rid of this tenant. And then after that, we're going to try and figure out what we need to do with the home. The real question is, though, what do we need to do, or where can we go to source the money for a house flip so we can resell it at a higher price now? Since she already owns it, how would you advise getting funding for that part?
So you guys want to sell the house?
Yep. So it needs some work done. But like I said, she already owns it, and it's like a family house that she's had like for years.
Right. So if she's owned it for years, that means she has some good equity in it, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so that's what you guys would want to do. You guys can either get with some real estate agents, or you could do some research your own to figure out what the comps are in that area, right? Because you guys want to figure out what homes have kind of been selling for in your area within a couple blocks. So you want to get as close as you can, the same square footage, the same bedrooms, the same bathrooms, and you want to see what houses have been going for in that area to give you guys a good idea on what the prices are. And then another thing, if you guys want to know the exact price, like if you guys want to go do like a refinance or something like that, then you guys would just want to pay for the appraisal. But it's going to be beneficial at this point, because you're going to get a current appraisal of what the property is worth instead of trying to guess or go off of comps. And that's going to help you if you guys go to refinance. So if you go to refinance, that's going to give you some money on the property, but then it's like you guys need to have a game plan. So it's like, if you go to refinance, how much cash you guys take from that refinance will determine if, once you guys put the money into it, what is going to be the value of that house when you guys go to resell it. So you need to figure out if refinancing would make sense based on how much money you guys get, how much money you guys need to get repairs and do those things. And then if it doesn't make sense to refinance, then you guys just have to look to probably either sell as is or try to raise some money, somewhere from either friends or family members, and let them know, hey, this is what we're looking to do. We're looking to, put this money into this property, and then we're going to sell it. This is going to be the split. We'll get you guys your money back plus 5% or 10% or whatever you guys can agree on. So you guys have multiple outlets. You guys are just going to have to go about it, and you guys are going to have to, I'd say, look and see what the pros and cons would be if you guys were to refinance. Look and see what the pros, like where your guys' financials would be at if you guys were to just try to sell it as is, or look and see what it would be. Get some appraisals. You can get some free appraisals for people to come out, whether if you need electrical work, if you guys need some plumbing, some roofing, some yard work, landscaping, whatever, you guys can get free appraisals for all that stuff. So you guys can get a good idea of what it's going to cost you to get it to where you guys want to get it when you go to sell. Does that make sense? Did I answer your question for you?
No, it does. I got one more follow-up question though. She owns a house flat out. So with that refinance thing, would that still need to be on the table, or?
Yeah, you can refinance even though you own a house flat out. You can still refinance.
Okay, perfect. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much.
That's part of the BRRRR. That's what people do when they do a BRRRR. They buy, rehab, and then refinance, rent out, all that good stuff.
Copy. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Yo, Ace, I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
I had to switch careers due to COVID. And I haven't been in this industry more than not even a year yet. Is it possible to apply for a first-time home loan and get approved?
Absolutely.
So I don't have to have 2 years of work history in this industry because I have 15 in my previous industry.
Yeah, they're not gonna look. So they are gonna look, but you'll be able to explain everything. So if they have any questions, they're like, "Hey, we've seen." Sometimes they won't even go that far back. They're just gonna ask to look at your W-2s, and then they're gonna look at like 3 to 6 months of current bank statements. So you're gonna cover that. But if they have any questions, if they're like, "Hey, we see a gap here," or "We noticed this here," you'll be able to let them know, okay, hey, this is what happened. So it's like a lot of things are unique, and a lot of things there's waivers and all this stuff due to COVID, because a lot of people did lose their job and they had to either go on unemployment or whatever it may be. There's a lot of waivers for a lot of things now. So it's like, as long as you were working and you have proof of everything, you can explain everything, you'll be good to go.
All right, cool.
Hey, Ace, Jabari here. I had a statement and 2 quick questions, if that's all right.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, first statement was, I've checked out all the videos that you've had, and definitely wanted to say thank you. We all appreciate you for putting all the time and effort that you have into getting these videos together. It's been highly informative, and I think I can speak for everyone when I say we appreciate it, and we've all learned a lot from all the content that you produce.
Appreciate that, really do.
No doubt. And then, so I actually live in Tampa, Florida, and I had 2 questions. The first one was, for all the programs in Florida that you've mentioned, can I use more than one grant or program, or am I just restricted to one?
So that's going to fall back. So whatever program you do use, that's going to be your first-time homebuyer program. So you'll have to wait another 3 years before you will qualify to be able to use it again, because they look. Because according to the IRS and a lot of these programs, they go off of that. For whatever reason, after 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer again, which is it's odd if you ask me, but I'm sure there's something behind it. But you just have to use that information to your advantage.
So every 3 years, you would be able to use another one?
Yep.
Okay. And then the second question I had was, the home that I'm looking to purchase, does it need to be in Florida? Or would I be able to purchase a home outside of Florida, even though I live in Florida?
Right. So if you want to use the first-time homebuyer program in Florida, then it would have to be in Florida, because it's only going to be good for Florida. But if you are planning on moving, that doesn't mean you can't use it for somewhere else you're going. So it's just going to be on that state. If they require you to have been living in that state for a year, there might be all these weird little requirements, but once you find like that state that you plan on moving to, once you figure out that program, once you contact the lenders and the real estate agents, they're going to be able, they know all that information on, how long, if you had to have been in the state, or if it doesn't even matter, if you just plan on, because it's going to have to be your main resident regardless. So I know a lot of states it doesn't matter if you currently live in that state or not, because it's going to be your main resident anyway. So you will qualify for a lot of programs in other states. But that's not to say that some states might require you to be there for 6 months or a year. I don't know. I don't know all of them off the top of my head.
Okay, I got you. Appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
Hey, Ace. Hey, Jabari. I'm in Tampa, Florida too, by the way, man. Let's connect. Follow me on IG, in the game, not the sideline, so we can I want to learn from you too, man. But a quick question, Ace. In this, I've noticed that you said that if you cash out refinance, it kind of null and voids the first-time homebuyer program. Is that correct?
If you do that with this first-time home, so if you get a property with that first-time home buyer program and you go to refinance, then yes, it does. And that was part.
Okay.
Let me bring that slide up. It depends on. So some of them, it says that. Let me see where it's at. Yep. So right here, so like for instance, the Florida Assist, so refinancing of the property or until such a time the mortgage ceases to occupy the property, at which time.
So what is that? So could you elaborate on that a little bit? So for example, like it says, the Florida Assist will become payable in full if you cease to occupy or anything like that. What does it mean by the Florida Assist will become payable in full? Does that mean that you'll have to basically, that 7,500, you'll end up having to pay that back and stuff like that? Is that correct?
Well, if you go to refinance, you're gonna have the money for it. You're gonna have the money for it to pay it back in full. So that's what they're trying to avoid people doing is they're trying to, you know, it's kind of like a slick clause in it, because what they're trying to do is, let's say you get a whole bunch of equity, you know, kind of what they're trying to say is we don't want people to be using this as investments. We don't want people to be refinancing and try to take advantage, right? That's just kind of a way of them putting that in there and saying that. So it's like, yes, if you go to refinance, then that kind of voids this program, and then you would have to pay whatever is left on it, if that makes sense. Because it's not, you're not supposed to be using this as like an investment, but you know, if you do it smart and if you stay within the rules, you absolutely can do that way. And it's the same thing with FHA, it's the same thing with VA, right? They put these little stipulations in there because even though they allow you to get like, you know, duplex, triplex, fourplex, and they allow you to get all these things, which in essence is going to be an investment regardless of how you look at it. They put these little stipulations in there to try to kind of throw people off and to try to, you know, scare them from doing certain things. But if it works out, let's say you get a $200,000 home, you know, you're in this home for 2 years, you pay down about, I don't know, $15,000 in the loan, right? So now you owe $185,000 left, and you get some equity, you're paying down, and then let's say the market shoots up and your value of your home goes to 400,000, and you go to refinance because it shot up so much. It's like they're like, okay, you're not going to keep riding on us getting this free property, so you got to pay back in full. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. So let's say that scenario that you just brought up. Let's say I purchased the house for 200,000 in a unicorn market. The house goes up to 400,000, right? When I go to do that, when I go to cash out refinance, as long as I pay that 200,000, I should be good in the clear, and that whatever is left over is.
It's not going to be 200,000. It's going to be whatever the remaining balance is.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and then I had a follow-up question.
Yeah.
I was speaking to a realtor the other day and a CPA as well, because I wanted to get clear on this because I've heard a lot of different stories. Okay. Your rental income. So for example, let's say I use one of these programs and I get a fourplex and I'm renting out the other three, and I'm basically everything's paying for itself. It's self-sufficient, and I have $100 a month in profit. Is that rental income, that $100 in profit, is that taxable income?
So like for instance, all my CPAs, what they do is they have me, so you have a like a rental income portion, and then you also have what you pay. So like for instance, I have a property manager, I do upgrades, you know, I do all this stuff. So it's like both of those you're reporting to your CPA. So your rental income is taxable, right? But that doesn't mean everything that you get from your tenants is going to be taxable. Does that
okay, that makes sense? Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's yes, it's taxable and you report it, but it's much more than that, because you're also going to, you know, subtract your expenses. So that's like property managers, if you have landscaping, right? All your expenses that you have for your property, everything is going to be. So what I do, what my CPA does is they have me send them a spreadsheet of all my rental income, and then they also have me send them a spreadsheet of my rental expenses, and then, you know, they do their magic from there.
Okay, perfect. And then so technically, if your expenses offset the income, so let's say the $100 in profit, because the only thing that's taxable would be profit in reality, right? Well, so
you report it all.
Okay, you report it all. Interesting. Yep. Okay, I need to do some more research on that so I can understand it a little bit better, because that's an important part of it too.
Yep, I report everything, and then my CPA handles what they handle. They, you know, they dive deep into making sure, you know, you're going to get depreciation, you're going to get all that stuff. If you know, some counties, if you install certain type of windows, that's a tax break. If you install certain type of doors, if you install certain, you know, different things, it's you can get down a rabbit hole. So that's why it's important to have a good real estate CPA, not just a general CPA. I tell people, once you get into real estate, the real estate world is there's so much to it, and it's so crazy that I don't even try to wrap my head around it, right? I'd rather pay somebody, you know, $500 to $1,000 when it comes time to do taxes, and let them tell me, hey, make sure you're doing this, do this, 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 and this to make sure you can get the best break. So every year, every year after my CPA is done with everyone's taxes, we have a sit down and we go over my taxes individually, because I want to know where I can get better. So I would ask them, okay, you know, what can I do this year to, you know, be better prepared, or, you know, get money in, or have to pay less, or, you know, all these things like that. So that's what I do with mine.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man.
Yep.
Yo, Ace, quick question. As a first-time home buyer, would you suggest purchasing a house or a condo first?
Really, it wouldn't make sense either or. I couldn't say one or the other. You would have to go with, run your numbers, right? Whatever makes sense. So it's like, you know, what's the value of the condo? What's the value of the home? What are you bringing in for your rents? You know, what's your insurance looking like for the condo versus for the home? You know, or is the condo better located than where the homes you're looking at? What are the rents going for in the condos versus the home? So it's like, you want to look at kind of every aspect of this, and it's a big numbers game. And then it's also what's going on in the area, right? Like for instance, right now in my area, the value of my property just keeps going up because they're doing nothing but new builds everywhere. So they're adding new homes, new townhomes, new condos, new apartments. They're adding new shopping malls, new gas stations. They're adding, you know, all the popular stuff that people are starting to like, those Pilates things, the crumble cookies. Like, you want to look for, you know, nicer restaurants. They're tearing down those old, you know, rundown restaurants, and they're adding newer restaurants. So it's like, you want to be looking at what's going on in your area. So it's like, if you can see that there's a lot of builds going on, it's like you want to hop in because you know the price of everything. So if they're building and they're adding more, that means more people are coming, and that's just going to keep driving the price up. So it's like, you want to look at the whole picture. You don't want to just say, yeah, you don't want to just think, oh, a house, I'm gonna get more out of this house than I will my condo. Well, not necessarily, because you need to run your numbers and compare them and see what you can do. So sit down, write your numbers out, and then what makes sense numbers wise, that's the one you want to go with.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hi, and I got a quick question.
What's up?
How would this program affect if you were already a homeowner in a different state?
I'm not too sure, actually, and I don't even want to give you wrong information. So all you would do is go to this link, click on it, start the process, and then when you talk to the lenders and the agents, you'll be able to ask them those questions, and they'll give you a way better answer than I can. I don't even want to give you any wrong information on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, because the end goal is to move to Florida, but I figured I jump on something here before I get over there.
Definitely take advantage though. Like, start the process, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, so go on this link and look at everything on what you're trying to do. So, you know, find the area you want to be in. So that way you can kind of, you know, what I tell people is, so many people think that you have to jump into stuff right away, right? It's like, you can really plan. I like to plan stuff a year, 2-3 years out. I'll set stuff in motion. The longest I've ever done was I set something in motion for 5 years, right? That takes a lot of dedication, and it can be draining. It can be, you know, frustrating at times, but it's like, you guys have to start getting into this mindset and thinking so far ahead for yourself. So it's like, the cool thing about these programs, like, you know, Chris, that, like he was saying, he was looking to get in this program, and he makes too much over the income limit. So it's like, why not? And he's going to take a little cut so he can qualify and, you know, get into something like this, because in essence, it's going to save you anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 by using this program. So it's like, what does it take a little cut to get into this program, and then you can just get right back to it, right? Especially, there's so many things that you can do to make up that income. But anyways, yeah, look through it, go through it, and then once they plug you with the agents, the real estate agents and the lenders. Just ask them, hey, I'm currently in a different state. I'm looking to move here. What are the requirements if I have something here? They'll be able to hook you up.
Got you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Ace. Quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of looking this up for someone who's already owned a property, but they bought the property literally decades ago. Would this also work
Yes.
for
Because
that person?
after,
I know you said like one of them was like 3 years
yep.
after the fact.
After 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer again, and as long as you meet the requirements as far as like income and all, and the credit, some of those, all of them have their different little requirements, but as long as you meet those requirements that they have, you're good. And like I said, the IRS definition of a first-time home buyer is after 3 years. So
Okay, all right. So I think I tuned in almost right as you said that, so I just want to make sure
okay.
that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Ace. I'm not sure if you mentioned this already, but if someone lives in outside of Florida, can they participate to buy that house in Florida as a rental property only?
Yep. Well, not as a rental property. It has to be your primary resident for the first-time home buyer program.
Oh, okay. Any idea when you're gonna do one of these for New York or New Jersey?
I'm just waiting. Like I've had a few people reach out to me from New York. So it's looking like I'm not sure what state is going to be next, but I'll make sure I get New York and New Jersey for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey Ace, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
What's good? So I want to know, have you ever heard of, like, I want to co-sign with my brother. He has the credit. I don't have the credit. I get the income. I make about 51 a year. So I'm betting I would be approved. I'm in Jersey though.
Okay.
But did you ever you knowledgeable of anybody co-signing together? Like if I wanted to co-sign with my brother for the first time home buyer?
Right. So pretty much he's gonna be the primary.
I'm following.
Is he gonna be the primary?
Oh, I don't know. I want to know what would be the best route. You know what I mean?
So
This is gonna be our first step. So he actually, like I said, he has the credit. He don't have a job though, and I have the income. I just don't have the credit. So I'm wondering if we could co-sign together somehow. If he's the primary, I'm the primary, whatever it needs to be. You know?
Right. You said it's your family member?
Yeah, it's my brother. So
okay. Yeah, so you guys will definitely be able to do that. You guys will just once you guys find that lender, the lender will tell you who will be the better route to go with as far as being the primary on it. So
okay.
So go through like finding, figuring out what you guys can afford, figuring out all that good stuff, and then
like find like a local senior loan officer or something like that, and he'll guide me through the way. Or
yeah, it could be a local person, it could be someone online. This is also something that a lot of people don't know. You don't have to go with lenders that are in your area. There's a lot of lenders that work out of state. There's a lot of like on bigger pockets. We have some lenders within the Well Squad. There's a lot of lenders who will lend to you, and you don't have to be in that state because everything is digital now, so they can qualify you just sending you something online. Most of my lenders.
So when I look it up, what do I look up? First time home buyer lenders or what exactly? Like
So if you guys want to do this, for instance, they're going to have the lenders already that work with the first time home buyer program. So this link that I have right here on the screen, if you go to that, once you guys figure out what program you guys want to do, it's going to bring you up approved lenders for that specific program. And then you guys will just reach out to those lenders and you say, hey, me and my brother, we're looking to get this property together. Either I want to be the primary, he needs to be a primary. What would be the best route? And then, he's going to look at both of you guys' credit and he's going to say, okay, we should make this person primary or this person the primary. And then he or she will be able to walk you steps from there.
Gotcha.
It's a very easy process. You guys will be able to do it. I believe I don't know if this is nationwide, but I believe you have to be family members for those of you that are curious. I'm not exactly 200% on that, but I believe when I was reading somewhere, I've never co-signed with anybody, so I'm not 100% sure. But since you guys are family members, I believe that's one of the stipulations. So I believe you guys are good to go.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna check into that link. Then I appreciate it, bro.
No problem. All right, you guys got any more questions for me before we wrap this up?
So Ace, I did some research into the other app that you told me about, Avail. And Avail, man, I called them. I called them at like midnight. They're like, yeah, you can call us 24 hours. I was like, man, great customer service first and foremost. Second, it works out because, like, let's say you find a cheap car for like 4,000, 3,500, right? That just needs a little bit of work. You put 500, 600 bucks in it. Even if it sits every single month, as long as it's in their possession, you get paid $300 a month, guaranteed, as long as they keep it in their possession. The most you can make a month is $600 a month. So, but that's still good because, like, God forbid, or knock on wood, like Turo don't work out or Hire Car doesn't work out for whatever reason. They do the maintenance for you. They just send you a bill. They drop off, pick up. They got parking lots at the airport. The closest one to me is in Miami. So I appreciate that. I really, really do, because it's a good alternative to have just in case. Like if Turo don't work out or if Hire Car don't work out for whatever reason. But I appreciate you and all your knowledge. Again, like I said, everything you've taught me, I'm trying to apply it as much as I can. So I appreciate you so much, man.
So you guys that are just tuning in, so if you guys were here from the beginning, Chris was talking about he's starting his rental car journey. So pretty much, you get a car and you list it on these different apps that you can rent your car out. Turo, Hire Car, Avail is a new one. And I was telling him about Avail, right? So he was kind of on the fence. He found, good deals, good cars. And I told him, write the numbers out, see, what will you make on a bad month? What will you make on a good month? And the good thing about Avail is that no matter what happens, you get $300. So that's a good backup to the backup plan. If Turo doesn't work, Hire Car doesn't work out, after a few months, that you can go to Avail and at minimum, let's say your car payment is $125, $150, right? Because you got a car that's not that expensive. So if you get like a car under 10 grand, you can keep your payments about that price. And then with insurance, throw another 50, probably to 100, whatever. So you're looking at about 200, 225. If at minimum, they're going to give you $300 no matter what, even if your car doesn't rent out, that's going to be, $75 profit for you. So it's like every year that's going to be a little over $800, right? That you're going to get from pretty much doing nothing, especially if it's with Avail and they're doing all the maintenance and they're just sending you the bill. At that point, it's just passive income, right? So at first you got to do the research, get the car, get it set up, get it inspected, do all that stuff. And then you pass it off to Avail, and then boom, from that point forward, you did 2-3 months worth of work. Now your car is with this company and they're doing everything. They're finding the renters. They're making sure the maintenance is good. They're making sure, the car is clean. They're doing all this, and you're literally just sitting back collecting a check. That's true passive income right there. But you don't get passive income right away. It doesn't just happen. You guys can get it with real estate. You guys can get it, with all these different ventures that you do. So that's kind of what he was talking about for some of you guys that don't know. As a different car rental business, something else that we talk about on the side.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, because with Turo and Hire Car, it's passive income to an extent, right? You still got to maintain the car yourself. You still got to wash the car yourself and stuff like that. But with the Avail, for anyone that's really trying to get into that really wants to do it and have passive income, Avail is a perfect opportunity. Yeah, you won't make as high a margin, but if you can find a good cash car for a good deal, it's literally the definition. You can work a 40, 50 hour, 60 hour a week job and collect a check on the side just from renting out your car in that app. And they handle everything. I called them. I asked so many questions. They're like, if you ever have any additional questions, you can call us at 3 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. They have great customer service. So I really appreciate that. Another website I found too is called Hop, Skip, and Drive. I haven't done too much research on it. I'm going to do some research tonight and call them up too. But there's so many opportunities out there. Like the spin lister thing. I heard you guys were, I think it was Ashley that was on live, and she was talking about spin lister, putting bikes up there. Cause I see you guys ride your bike every day. Yep. You can literally rent your bike out to local people that want to rent. If you're making $10 a day, that's, that was more, that $10 more than you were making before a day. So I appreciate you for real, man. I really do, Ace. You have no idea.
And for you guys that are still tapped in, if you guys follow us and you guys really watch, it seems like we never sleep and we're always working. I mean, it seems like that, and to an extent we do, but this is the thing. This is what me and Chris do. So we're the type of people where, you know, we're not above doing a side hustle that will bring us back $100 a month each month, or $200, right? So this is what we do. We're kind of the go-getters in our families. We're both of us are we just have that. We just are always trying all these different things, and we'll try to see what will work the quickest, what takes the longest. And what we do is we start passing it off to our families and our friends. So it's like we figure it out, we learn it, and then what we do is we pass it on to each other, and then we pass it on to our family members and our friends. So it's like those hustlers who really want, and then we also pass it on to you guys as well, right? So every time we come up with a new hustle or we find something, we're always sharing it to you guys. Hey, we just did this, or we're doing this, or we're working on this, and we pass it on. That's the name of the game. It's like there's so much money to be made out here. It's like every day I'm seeing people doing different stuff. The other day I seen a guy going door to door, spray painting people's curves. He had I'm in Vegas, so the Raiders are big out here. So he had like all the sports teams. So he was spray painting like the Raiders and then people's house numbers on the curb. Like it looked dope. And he was just charging people $30. And he had enough paint to do that. I forgot how many times he said, but it was like 10 times over what he spent for it. So it's like, there's so much stuff out here, you guys. You just have to go, you have to do something, right? Nothing's going to magically come to your door. Nobody's going to drop money off at your door. Nobody's going to put money into your account. No one's going to go do the work for you guys. You guys just got to do it. And then I'm telling you, you guys will be able to reap the rewards. You guys will be able to, the more money you get, the more time freedom you get. And then the more time freedom you get, the more location freedom you get. And it's like, you get that financial freedom. So it's like, you want to have financial freedom, you want to have time freedom, you want to have location freedom, you want to be able to go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go, and not have to worry about how am I going to get the money for this, right? That's the name of the game. We've been on it for a while. That's what we do. We live it, we breathe it, we preach it, and that's our way of life. So that's what we do. That's how we get down. So one thing I did want to talk to you guys about, and I was waiting for this to the very end to see who stuck around. So I was telling you guys that I was going to be getting into tax liens and tax deeds. So I have I have an auction coming up tomorrow. I have 6 properties that I'm going to be bidding on that I know for sure. I have an extra 4 that I might bid on. So for any of you guys that are interested in tax liens, tax deeds, if you guys are interested in any of that information, and if you guys care for me to talk about it the next time I go live, shoot me a message and let me know if you guys want to know how it goes. I have the auction tomorrow. I did all my research. I went and looked at the properties already. I had to drive like an hour and a half away to look at them. But yeah, so that's one of the next things I'm getting into is tax liens and tax deeds. So just to kind of, a tax lien and tax deeds, typically when someone doesn't pay their taxes and, they got so long to where they can catch back up. For most states, it's like 2 years that they allow them to miss taxes before the bank just completely takes it over, and then they do an auction. And the bank, the cool thing about these auctions is that the banks only want what they're owed for the taxes, right? So it's like you can find, for instance, I was looking at some of the auctions that closed the other day. Somebody got a house in Philadelphia that paid the starting bid of the auction was like $2,600. That's what the bank wanted. And then the end up final price was like $46,000. And then when I went and did the research on the property, it was in Philly, it was actually worth like $96,000. So they end up getting like $50,000 in equity right away. So what you could do is you can refinance that right away, get that cash, get your money back, and go on to your next property. So if you guys care to know about how my auction goes tomorrow, and you guys want to hear more about tax liens and tax deeds, shoot me a DM in the Well Squad. And if I get enough of you guys that care about it, we'll talk about it. So if not,
Ace, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you actually brought that up, because I've been doing some research into that too. Because remember I was bringing up the note investing.
Yep.
So with the tax liens, that we actually have an auction here in Florida on May 4th for some tax lien properties. But what I found out is that if, like, for example, let's say you pay the taxes on the property, they actually have 2 years to pay you back, pay those taxes back. And then at the end of that 2 years, if they don't, of course, you'll make your money back plus your interest, right? You'll get your money back plus interest, which is great. So it's a win-win situation no matter what. But has that made you sway away, or you're like, no, you know what, I have the extra capital, let me go do it. Worst case scenario, I make some interest, and then best case scenario, I get a great deal on a property. And then my next question to follow up on that is, I've been calling the county not every day, but almost every other day to try to get access to that auction. How did you get access to the auction in your area?
So what I had to do was I had to wire money. So I had to wire $600. $35 of it was non-refundable. And then so that money goes towards, if I win the auction, that remainder goes towards it. And then I just have to send the remaining balance. But so keep in mind, you're going to have these fees for these auctions. You're going to have the wire fees from your bank. You're going to have the fees that you're going to have to actually get access to these auctions, right? So for me, I'm out of pocket $55 regardless if I get a property or not. So it's like, you really got to do your research and make sure you're getting in the right auction and know, because like, imagine if you do this 10 times, that's going to be, $550, $600 down the drain. But, you got to keep doing it until you find that right property, because you can strike gold. I know people that have struck gold. So it's like, you just got to stick with it and get to it that way. And
I'm gonna just keep calling, because I keep on trying to get access, but nobody's like, I call the county and I keep on trying to ask, well, how do I get access? They transfer me, and then I end up getting disconnected. So it's like, it's almost like, what's up?
Yeah, go up there in person.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there. That's true. I'm gonna go down there tomorrow.
That way you won't get any runaround on the phone. You'll be able to talk to somebody face to face, and they'll be able to send you to the right person right away.
Yeah, that's true. Just go down to your, like, the courthouse, basically, right?
County assessor office. Yep.
All right, bet. All right, appreciate it, man. Hey, I sent you a message on IG as well. Again, Ace, thank you so much for all the knowledge and motivation. Again, like I said, you motivate me every single day. Even when today you were messing with the turtles, I was like, man, I wish I could be messing with some turtles right now. I'm at work.
That damn duck about bit my hand off.
Yeah, I saw that. You bold. The ducks down here in Florida, they'll take a finger, I'll tell you. But I appreciate you, man.
Yep. Yeah, you guys, that's the name of
the
Ace. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, man. Sorry to cut you off. One quick last question. Are you gonna do this first time home buyers class on California by any chance?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it on Cali. I got Cali is probably gonna be up next. A lot of people from Cali have been wanting it, so I'm gonna feed the people. I'm gonna give you guys what you guys. I go off of what you guys send me and who does and who doesn't. So I think Cali is gonna be up next. Not for sure yet.
And definitely, I'm gonna shoot you a message, because I definitely want to know about the tax deeds, man. I've been interested in that for a while. So yeah, appreciate you.
All right. Well, I guess that's already, so you guys can expect that. So next class is gonna be a little bit longer, because I'm gonna go over a first time home buyer program. I'm also gonna walk you guys through my complete experience. I'm gonna let you guys know why I bid on the properties I bid on. I'll probably put a cool little slideshow together. I'm gonna try to see if I can put a cool little slideshow together to show you guys step by step everything I did, as far as how I found the auction, what it took for me to get into the auction, how to bid in the auction, if I won or didn't win, what properties I found, how I found the properties, what I did to research them. So next class is probably going to be a long one. But like I said, if you guys don't want to attend, it's going to be recorded. Either way, you guys will be able to see it. So be on the lookout for that.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ace. Just another vote for New York, New Jersey. I've been doing some research on my own, but always good to hear someone who has experience with another program. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right, you guys, any last questions for the group? Like I said, you guys ask whatever you guys want. You guys can see sometimes it's real estate, sometimes it's just other hustling stuff. So yeah, it's whatever.
Hey, one last question, Ace. Have you done one on Georgia yet?
No, I haven't. So I've only done Texas, and then today was the second one, Florida. I have got a lot of people from Georgia. So if you guys are curious, it's like right now it's Georgia, New York, California, and I believe Louisiana were like the top that people have been sending me. So those are like the front four runners right now.
Okay, bet. Thank you, man. Will you put us at the top of the list if I throw you some bread?
No, man, you might want to put that bread towards your real estate ventures, man.
Yeah, damn right, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, but if you're in that Georgia area, start looking in the Macon area. There's a lot of good deals going on out there. And then, you know, with the military base being out there, that's a great investment area. Look in Macon.
Again, appreciate it, Ace.
Yep. Any last questions, you guys?
Last question. Have you had any experience with buying any properties or utilizing the HUD website?
I have not. I've looked through the HUD website a lot. I go on there a lot just to see what's on there, but I haven't bought anything from there.
Okay, yeah. I've also been looking at HUD as well and haven't seen anything that really works for me, but yeah, just wanted to know if you had any experience. Thanks.
No problem. And then I believe one of you guys asked me if I bought any, I just seen the message, if I bought any turnkey properties from the page that I follow on my Instagram. I have not. And I kind of talked about this story before. Me and Chris have reached out to a few people on there and it was really sketchy and they tried to like turn us to a different property. It was just really weird. So I still follow them, but I haven't done any more business with them. You know, if once I get a sour taste in my mouth from someone, I kind of just steer away. Just, it was very odd. Like it happened to Chris, it happened to me. Like it was just very, very strange. It didn't really seem, I don't know, not my type of business style. So I just steered away from it. I don't know if that person is in here listening right now, but there's this page I follow on my Instagram. It's a turnkey. They post all these turnkey properties that have renters already in them and they break down the deal. It seems really good. You know, sometimes if it's too good to be true, it might be, it might not be. That's why you got to do more research, right? So I reached out, tried to, got some funny vibes. I'm good. I'm cool off of that one. So if that person is in here that asked me, or if any of you guys have seen it before, that's my response to that.
Oh, one more question, Ace.
Yep.
So you know how like a FHA 203K will help with the renovation? Do
Yep.
any of these first-time home buyer programs do that as well?
I'm not sure. I didn't see
Okay.
anything when I was looking for Florida. I didn't see anything, but they do have. If I go back, they do offer the FHA for one of their programs. I just don't know if they offer the 203K for that.
Okay, gotcha. No, I'll do some research. I'll call one of the lenders to find out.
Yeah. So if you just reach out to them, the real estate agent or the lender will be able to let you know that right away, because that's definitely something that needs to be known for sure.
Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate you again. Like I said, I'm gonna give you flowers every time I talk to you.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it, man. I really do. I appreciate all you guys. So does anybody got any more questions? Like I said, don't feel free to ask whatever you want before we wrap this up if you have any questions.
Yo, Ace.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Oh, nothing
Hey,
much.
so I got some good credit right now, and I'm 24 years old, and I ain't really got that much money, and I'm just trying to leverage my credit. Like right now, the smartest way I can. Like I'm just trying to leverage it right now. And like, what advice would you give me? What you think? What market you think I should tap into? Like, what you think? What you advice you give me?
Oh, with good credit.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things you can do with good credit, and you know it's going to require you. You know, some routes you can go is you can start tapping into credit cards and using credit cards to get into real estate and using credit cards for other things. But you know, it's really tricky, and you know, good credit it seems really good, and you know, you hear a lot of people talk about it, and you know, it's one of those, it's kind of like a two-way street almost. It's like you have some good things that you can do with your credit, and then also it's like credit really won't get you too far in that same road. So it's that would be like a long talk that we would just kind of sidebar about. You know, and I try to tell people this all the time. You know, cash is king, but leverage is king as well. And you know, there are a lot of good ways that you can leverage your credit. You know, and you know, if you have good credit, you know, but then it's like if you go to open up credit cards, and you know, it's going to take time for you to build up. You know, get your limits constantly increased, and you know, you're gonna have to work. So it's like, even though you have good credit and you start doing things to try to utilize your credit, you're still going to have to work, and you're still going to have to build, you know, you're still going to have to do other things. So I'm going to do a class on how to get into real estate, leveraging your credit. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be really in depth. So just kind of stay tuned. if you want to try to use credit to get into real estate. So just kind of be on the lookout. I'm going to probably do that probably within the next 2 months or so.
Okay, yeah, because I thought about, I was looking at the video, you and Chris, about the car rental, and I was just thinking about that, if I should jump into it or just try something. Like, I don't know, like, what should I do?
One of the things that we're doing to leverage our credit for that is that we're just financing through the bank, right? We have the money, we can go buy a car outright, but we're going the financing route because we ran our numbers, and it's like we want to put our money towards something else. So we're leveraging our credit to let the lenders pay for the car. Like I said, we're looking for cars that are under $12,000, under 50,000 miles, 2015 or newer. That's the type of cars that we're looking for. And so we went to a bunch of different banks. We told them we're trying to get a loan for this amount. We told them who had the best rate, and we went with who had the best rate. And so it's like we got the paperwork ready to go. And it's like now we're just waiting to find the car. So that's one way how we're leveraging. That's one way how we're leveraging our credit, is we're letting the lenders. And it's like when we go to rent this car, we've already ran our numbers, so we know on a bad end how much we'll make, on a good end how much we'll make. And it's like we're still going to come out on top. Even on some bad months, we're still going to come out on top because we're going to get creative and do other things. So that's right. There's a lot of ways. So it's like you can use it to, maybe get a personal loan to start this, but we're going different routes. So there's a lot of things that you can do with your credit. You just got to dig deeper into it, and it might require you, using the bank for a loan for this, or opening up a credit card here and there and turn around and use that credit card as a down payment for a property that you found in the Midwest or down South. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it, Ace.
No problem.
All right.
Hey, Ace, are you guys going after, what kind of cars are you guys looking at? Are you guys looking at luxury? Are you looking at like basic cars, or?
Chris is going to do luxury. So he's going to do luxury on Toro. So he's been looking for like a high-end BMW or like a Camaro that has a drop top, because people, everyone knows we're in Vegas. So people come out here, they want to have something that's a convertible. So we're looking for nice convertibles, and then high-end cars like Porsches, Range Rovers, things like that. So we're looking at it right now. We haven't necessarily got anything, but that's kind of what we're dabbling with. So we want the lower end cars like the Toyota Camrys, the Toyota Corollas, the Hondas. We're looking to put those on Hire Car or Avail. And then we're looking to do the luxury with Toro, because in this area, more people go for the luxury cars on Toro, and then more people that are looking to rent them out use Avail, or they use Toro. Or I'm sorry, Hire Car.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the kind of the mindset that I had. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take advantage of Hire Car first for now, and because it's more long-term rentals, it's guaranteed more cash flow to come in. And on top of that, the people that are going to use it, they don't really need a luxury car per se, right? They need a nicer car to be presentable for Uber and Lyft, but they don't necessarily need like a Range Rover or a BMW or anything like that. And what I was going to do down the line is eventually, once I see that this is a little successful, or if I come up with a little bit more money, while I'm building my credit, of course, because of course, if my credit was right, I would be buying a house right now, but my credit's not right. So I'm going to wait. And I think everything happens for a reason, especially with the market we're in. I think I'm glad that my credit's not right, because I may overpay just because I'm excited to get into it. But that's a whole nother story. But my point is, I think that was my mindset going into this too. I'm going to put it on Hire Car. Worst case scenario, I put it on Avail. That's the backup. I'm going to list it on Turo for like maybe 1 week out of the month to see what happens. But I'm thinking, because I'm in Tampa, Florida, just like you said, people like to come. They want to have a drop top. They want to be able to put the roof down and feel the sun and be here, especially if they're from up north. So I'm thinking the luxury car should definitely go on Turo, and then So I appreciate that. I appreciate that insight. I'm glad that we're kind of aligned on that too. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ace, I have a question.
What's up?
Hey man, so me and one of my relatives are looking to partner in a deal here in Phoenix. I have the down payment. We both have, solid credit scores. He has the W-2 income. So my question is, the goal is to refinance out of this loan within 3 to 5 years so that he's out of the deal with some profit. So do you know if there's any complications or problems refinancing as a secondary person on the loan?
Nope. there won't be any issues at all. And then down the road, you guys will just go through the title company, and then you would just get everything transferred over into your name.
Dope. Sounds good, man.
It's
Appreciate
a very,
that.
it's a real easy process.
Cool. Thank you, man.
No problem.
That actually gives me another question. I'm sorry, but
Go ahead.
so in regards to the first time home buyer, can you, for example, like let's say my income, I can't get it low enough to qualify. Can I go in, like let's say my brother, right? My brother's income is well within the limit. Am I able to leverage him and I of course put the money up, or some of the programs you don't even have to put any money up, but am I able to leverage him and can you do a joint venture like that, or does it have to be the main person?
First time home buyers, I'm not sure if you can or if you cannot. So that
Okay.
just be like, if you ask don't tell them what your plans are, just ask them, hey, trying to use this program, I want to have a cosigner. I'm gonna be a cosigner for someone. Will they be able to do it? And then they'll tell you yes or no, and then boom, there's your answer right there. And then you guys do what you want to do. Year, 2, 3 years down the road, you guys can do whatever you guys want to do from that point.
All right, perfect. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. All right, you guys, we're about to wrap this up. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all the love and support you guys give. Like I said, I do these classes to just do nothing but benefit you guys. When I open up these Q&As at the end, I want you guys to ask me whatever it is you guys are curious about. As you guys see, we talked, about real estate. We talked about different side hustles with renting cars and things like that. That's the name of the game. So it's like, I do this stuff on real estate, but it doesn't have to just stop there. You guys see, we dibble dabble in so many different things, and we're pretty knowledgeable in a lot of different subjects and things that we do. So please don't be scared to ask any questions. Like I said, it's an open environment, it's a safe place. Everybody's here to learn. Sometimes you guys might ask me questions that I don't know, and we have people in here that step up and answer it. As you guys see, we have people in the group taking charge, leading the way, and getting after this stuff. That's what we want. That's the whole goal of this. We want you guys to get as much beneficial information that you guys can out of the Well Squad. That's, like I said, that's really our only mission, is to just share this knowledge, gain knowledge. We're all learning along the way. You guys know I talk about it all the time. I don't know everything about real estate. I never claim to know. If there's something I don't know, I'm not going to give you guys, wrong information. I say I do know and I don't know. It's still a learning process. I'm still learning stuff as I go. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in my first auction for this tax liens, tax deeds. I was actually supposed to start before Corona hit, and then it just, my program shifted. So I was all focused, zoned in around January, February of before it started. I was zoned in on these tax liens, tax deeds. I had about 10 auctions that I had lined up. I was going to be flying to different states, but things happened, and my priorities shifted to something different, and now I'm finally coming back. Almost over a year later, I'm getting back to it. So sometimes your goals are going to shift and things are going to happen, but you just have to adjust. So I didn't fold the towel in and just completely give up, right? I still was doing other stuff within real estate. I still got properties. I got properties in the middle of Corona, which ended up giving me crazy equity because I was able to put in crazy offers because people thought the world was ending and people were ready to just get out of these properties because they didn't know, this, that, or the third. So, as one of the greats, Warren Buffett, always says, be greedy when others are fearful. That's when you come out on top. That's when you make your profit. So I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to tune in and listen to me rant off and, teach you guys about this stuff. I appreciate you guys asking questions. I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate hearing you guys' stories. People share their losses on here. We share our wins. Like I said, we're all in this together, right? We're all we want to get wealthier. We want to get healthier. We want to just, live the life that we want to live and be able to do the things that we want to do. So it's, what we got today is Wednesday, is hump day. We finished this day out. Thursday coming in strong. The days of the week, most of the time I don't even know the days of the week because it really doesn't matter. Every day I just get up and I get to what it is I need to get to. And I enjoy myself. Like Chris was saying earlier on here, he seen me at the park. I was throwing the baseball, playing ball, messing with the ducks. But then here I am later handling, taking care of business, right? Being in here with you guys, taking time out of my day, away from my family, away from my friends, and I'm giving you guys my energy right now. And I go all in for you guys, right? I hope you guys do the same in your guys' life. You know, that, you know, I want you guys to, you know, go all in with things you do. Life is too short. You gotta, you know, balance it out, handle business, have fun. You gotta have a good balance of both. So that's my little rant for you guys for the day. I promise you, I appreciate all of you guys, even those that don't ask questions. I appreciate you guys just tuning in and being here, learning, even if you don't put this stuff to use. You know, hopefully one day, you know, something might click and be like, boom, you know what, let me go ahead and start doing this. You know, you guys might not get into real estate, but it might drive you to want to get into something else. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys, and I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your night.
Have a good night, Ace. Appreciate it. Hey, one question before you leave that somebody asked, and it just reminded me. When's the Well Squad BBQ?
Oh, we're working on it, man. We're working on it. So this is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do one where it's gonna be, you know, a limited amount of people for the first one. Then we're gonna do a big Well Squad one where we're gonna invite everybody in the Well Squad. So we're gonna have it. We're gonna put it out at least 3 months in advance to give everybody a heads up where the city and state is gonna be. And then once we get enough people in, we're gonna start sending out more information. So we're gonna have one that's gonna be limited at first. It's going to be more of the teachers and, you know, a few members. And then we're going to do a big one where everyone's going to be invited. And we're going to do it to where you guys are going to bring your guys' family, your guys' friends. You know, we're going to have free food. We're going to have games. I mean, we're going to go all out for you guys. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I look forward to meeting you guys in person. Thank you so much,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yep.
Appreciate you, Ace.
Yep. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Ace. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks.
Peace, bro.
Peace.